Hey, this is VANSILK for Black Culture TV Network, bringing news, entertainment, a lot of things going on in the world. I like to bring attention to something that I thought might have not been as bad as it is. When you talk about racism and racist people, I happened to stumble upon this gentleman, Caucasian gentleman named Bryan Stone, and I looked at about 7 or 8 of his videos of people being racist. He's been accused of liking black people. But first of all, I want to say, Eric, I'm going to re-upload some of your videos, but I want everybody to go to Eric Bryan, Bryan Stone. He's on TikTok, he's on Instagram, and he does have a YouTube channel. But I was very fascinated of his investigating reportings, how he came at people, how people will say things and post it on TikTok and then sit up here and act like they didn't say it. So all I'm saying is, Eric is just a brother from the Bronx, been in hip-hop since the beginning, and I like what you're doing, my brother. I really like what you're doing. So you'll make sure you'll go and check out Eric Bryan Stone on TikTok. He really does his work, and I'm just putting some of this stuff up so y'all can catch on, because social media is a big platform. Now, because you'll see Clayton Clark picture there, nope, she's not a racist, but he's just talking about Clayton Clark and Angel Reese. So that's where we at. This is VANSILK at the Black Cultural Network, and Not in My House with VANSILK. Y'all have a blessed day, and we'll take it from there. Peace. Thank you, Eric Bryan Stone. Thank you, my brother. We need awareness.
Everybody meet Clayton Clark. No, wait. Angel Reese. Oh, wait, no, I mean Blair Brewer. These two will come into play in a second. Now, Eric, what does this white woman have to do with 2 of the most talked about WNBA players of this generation? Facebook. You know, the place where everybody goes when they have an opinion, even if they have 0 expertise. Now, what did Blair say? Well, first we have to read the thread, because Mark Steedman says her fans are a bunch of black racists. Talking about Angel Reese, of course. And then Blair jumps in saying he can't respond to that. He speaks Ebonics. How fast can you climb that tree and run from the lion? And proceeds to call him a monkey. Now, you might be asking, why waste your time with these stereotypical racist comments that you can find anywhere about these 2 on Facebook? Well, if you've seen any of my videos, you would know there's always more. Now, how could a woman who preaches the spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love say something like that? Especially when she likes artists like Rich the Kid. She can't be racist, right? Oh, wait, no, she follows Doja Cat too, so there's a big question mark there. But she's also part of a group called Sick, a page that says, keep your political crap out of the group. Now, what kind of stuff does this page post to their 537,000 members? Bye, Felicia. I'm your new neighbor. Or how about, this is my dad. He's your what? Now, what was it that they were saying about Angel Reese's fans? It's one thing to be racist on social media, but when you bring that same ideology to your workplace, now we have a problem. Now, I see that your nickname is Whitney and Blairby, which might explain your hatred to Angel, but your name on your profile is Blair. You know what? We're just gonna skip the process. Whitney Brewer, certified medical assistant at Pulse for Pulse. Now, what is Pulse for Pulse? Well, it's a medical center where they transcend traditional approaches and uncover potential issues before they escalate. Now, I'm no doctor, but I think this is a potential issue that might escalate. And if you're a company that says you provide better patient care, but one of your employees happens to be racist, and some of your patients happen to be black, I think that might be a problem at your company. So I'll just leave your contact information right here so everybody can get a hold of you. Oh, also, she has a DUI history. Not a very responsible nurse or medical assistant at all. And this is a prime example of why people need to listen to black women when it comes to the medical field and hospitals, because it affects their life quite literally. And I'll finish it off with this. Clayton Clark is a phenomenal shooter. But it wasn't until this moment where Caitlin Clark became relevant. That's not just based off of an opinion, but data. Because when you check Google, this is the moment Caitlin Clark spiked in popularity. The exact same moment Angel got back at Caitlin. And at the time, Angel already had 2 million followers. And people hate on black women so much they can't stand when a black woman outshines a white woman. So fix your crown, queen, because these racist, bigoted people can hate you all they want, but you still the champ. My name is Eric Stone. Doses. Everybody meet Sarah. Now, Sarah is the mother of this young girl. Now, what did she do? Let's watch.
You stupid.
Oh, wait. There's more. And because I had to bleep it out, let me clarify. She says the N-word, making fun of her black classmates. And yet no accountability has been held against this girl because her mother is the treasury at the school. So I decided to reach out to the mother and gave her a little call.
Sarah Osborne.
And because she didn't answer, I decided to give her a little text saying, "Hi, Sarah, I'm an investigative journalist who is doing a story on your daughter's incident at her school. Please give me a call as soon as you can." And clearly she read it. And guess who called me? Her lawyer.
Hello? Hi, my name's Andre Boyd. I'm an attorney here in Kansas City. I represent the Osbornes. You gave Sarah a call this morning.
Nice to meet you, Andre.
The KC defender put up one side of the story. They never even asked my client for their side of the story. They never asked, hey, were you getting bullied? Were they doing this? What were they doing? Nothing. They just went with the race story. And, you know, frankly, it's disturbing that the media is putting out one side story without the other side. I mean, that you guys, journalists, are supposed to get both sides of the story before you publish.
Always so defensive, but never any accountability. Okay, Andre, let me hear your side of the story.
Can I get the other side of the story?
We'll think about it. At this point, this is a private family. They don't want any of this happening.
Oh, okay, so when somebody tries to get your side of the story, you say, you're going to think about it. And now she's the victim, even though she's the one that called her black classmates the N-word and made fun of them? You're not a very good lawyer, sir. Especially because you have a criminal record of your own, getting a DUI and getting arrested on the highway. But let's continue the conversation.
When there's a video of a person using the N-word,
Yeah, well, see,
you know, that's...
when you have a minor saying it and they post the video.
It don't matter if they're a minor or not.
The law.
It does. Well, yeah, but the minor posted it, and it doesn't.
Yeah. The minor being posted on it's different on Facebook if a video is posted of a minor from a minor's phone. It's different when the media posts it. There are laws in place where you cannot post a video of a minor doing something.
Yeah, and people blur out their faces. They don't put out their names. They put out the parents' names.
They put out the parents' names.
Yeah,
which can identify the child.
But it doesn't matter.
You know, to me, it sounds like you and her mother are doing everything to protect her except taking
accountability for whoever did whatever they did has to be done, because the damage that can be done with using racial slurs like that is problematic, right? So
sure. What if the video is doctored?
Doctored? First you said the media can't post the video because she's a minor, and now the video is potentially doctored? You are not a very good lawyer, sir. Stick to the story.
So either way, we're not making a comment right now. So I appreciate.
Well, clearly, you don't want to take accountability. You want to protect this girl at no matter what cost it is. And you're going to make any kind of validation or excuse for her instead of actually having this be a very teachable moment for this young girl and let her learn that what she did was not okay.
Well, you're imputing things to me that I did not say.
Imputing? First you said nobody was getting your side of the story. Then when I tried to get your side of the story, you said no comment. Then you said that the media can't post the video because she's a minor. And now you're saying the video might have been doctored. You are not a very good lawyer, sir. So please, give me your final thoughts.
I'm simply trying to calm the waters here so we can get the truth out. So
okay, and I'm giving you an opportunity to get the truth out to a large audience.
You post what you're going to post. We'll consider it, but considering the way that you're talking to me and saying that you're imputing motives to me that I have not said, I don't think we're going to give you a statement.
It doesn't matter what you.
But then he hanged up on me, and I can guarantee you now, the waters are not going to be fucking calm. So here's the information on the school: phone numbers and address. Have the day you fucking deserve. My name's Eric Stone. Doses. Everybody meet Isabel. Now Isabel loves her cats and her dogs, and for some reason likes to make the space. But there's more to Isabel than meets the eye. She has a very strong belief that women should stay in the kitchen cooking. Friendly reminder to my ladies out there, if you're not in the kitchen cooking, you better have a broom in your hand cleaning. She's addicted to Freedom, Kitchens, Ron Paul, fat shaming, Alex Jones, and being skinny. But there's more to this. She advocates for legalizing free speech and thinks Elon Musk did that. She's a fan of Kyle Rittenhouse and Trump, who hangs out at Mar-a-Lago, and with obviously your conservative politicians. And of course, the Hodge twins, who are the black conservatives who just love America so much. And she really wants to be a super famous media personality. But why am I bringing this girl up? What would make me want to do a whole video about her? Well, let me introduce you to her husband. Maybe he can explain why.
Do you want insane Twitter growth? Do you want to hack on how to make it to the top with views like this? I'm not going to edit this, but a lot of views. Get a baby, get your wife pregnant, get a wife first, mom, and then have your babbling baby at 6 months say something close.
Ah, yes. Get famous by having your baby say the N-word. Which is exactly what they did, saying my daughter literally just said the N-word. I'm so proud of her. And of course, I blocked out the baby. And then people were in the comments saying, needs to work on the hard R, but she has potential. And Isabel said, we are working on it. And here they are bragging about how their baby's first word was the N-word. And in this clip, this man brags about how he's a... And Isabel brags about how her daughter will be ready for him as a... And here she just brags about how she's just a 10 out of 10 racist. And Elon Musk just can't wrap his head around the fact that there's so many racist people on Twitter. Even though he grew up in an apartheid government in South Africa. But that's besides the point. So because of all that, I decided to give them a call.
Hello. Yeah, hi. I'm trying to get a hold of the Riley family.
Yes, they don't want to talk. But that was the daddy. And here's the mama. And here's Riley. And the place she works. With their contact info. Now, here's what you can do, and I strongly suggest it because of their history. Here's the hotline for report neglect based in Arizona because, well, that's where they're based. And the parents get it too because if you're going to raise a racist, you should be called out too. And for you two to think that was such a great idea and being racist, well, I hope you have the fucking day you deserve. Because for anybody that wants to keep that ideology around in today's day and age, you should be blasted to the fullest extent. My name's Eric Stone. Doses. Everybody meet the Empire Alley. Now, Eric, why are you starting a whole story about a store? Because they have one store in particular, the Badass Boot Camp. Now, this store was started by a really good friend of mine. And you know when you fuck with my people, you done fucked up. But let me backtrack because the Badass Boot Camp started in 2017 by a really good friend of mine, Hala Marak. And she started this business with outside spaces and worked her way up to have a nice little booth at the Empire Outlets. And it was so successful that she was able to have a storefront at the Empire Outlets. Now, it sounds like a very successful story, right? A true American dream, if you will. But here's where the problem lies. The Empire Outlets forced Hala to move out this past weekend, even though she was there for 3 years. But why would they do that?
Hello. Hello, this is Charles Costello returning your call. Call regarding Empire Outlets.
Let's find out what they had to say.
So now, Goldman Sachs owns completely the entire property.
So Goldman Sachs just bought the entire property and promised there won't be any disruptions to the tenants.
As far as tenants that are leaving or have left the shopping center, we've lost Walgreens because Walgreens was closing stores throughout the country, okay? And we lost a local tenant by the name of New York is my happy. Other than that, that's pretty much it.
Excuse me. What about the Badass Boot Camp?
Oh, Burn Boot Camp.
The disrespect, you couldn't even get the name right. But just listen to his lies.
Now, there are tenants that we put in there and we say, hey, you're in there for a long period of time. You know, we want to test you out to see if it works out. But for boot camp, not to get into it, there were some accounts receivable issues with the tenant. And we have a new tenant that's coming in that's paying much more rent.
Not paying the rent. Wait, I'm confused because this email says that was sent by Hala to the Empire outlets. Hey, I'm confused about this. I paid February and March in advance via check in the mail to the new address and payment info, which they replied to saying, hi Hala, we are aware of the issue. There is a system glitch and IT is also aware and will be fixed on your next statement. So I'm sorry, Empire outlets. You're lying. And I've also seen the other bank statements. She has never missed a payment.
Because before, me as the management company, I didn't have the right. I had to go to I had two masters, right? I had to go to BFC and I had to go to Goldman Sachs, right? To get answers. Now I only have one. So when I went to that one answer, I was able to get my one answer. And, you know, I said to him, hey, listen, Brooklyn Camp owes us $22,000. Okay, or whatever it is, however much it was. Okay, we'd like to terminate them, and we're going to replace them with a new tenant that's going to pay more rent and potentially not be an AR problem. They said, yeah, sure.
So what you're basically telling me is you lied to Goldman Sachs. And hold up, what do you mean AR problem? Because it looks to me like her business is booming. She does events for kids, yoga, and even fashion shows for New York Fashion Week.
Okay, so it was basically on they owed money and they weren't bringing in enough traffic to make money.
That's correct.
Okay.
Lies. On top of, I've been to the outlets numerous of times. That place is a ghost town the majority of the time.
When I was there, I mean, the majority of it is basically empty.
In fact, they're only operating at 30% capacity. The Badass Boot Camp was the one place that was popping. But you could have took any of those new stores and put them in any of those new vacant lots that you have, which is 70% of your fucking venue. But instead, you took Hollis, a true inspirational story of a young American who started a little store, who worked her butt off to get her own storefront, and they just took it away, all based on lies. So everybody, let's go show Hollis some love and her business, and let the Empire outlets know this is unacceptable. My name's Eric Stone. Doses. Everybody meet Jaren. Now, Jaren is a confident dude because Jaren thought it was a good idea to send his friend this video. And then proceeds to brag about it, saying, I said that to some black guy walking down the street in Savannah, Georgia. Laughy emoji. But it doesn't stop there, because even though this happened in 2022, the friend posted the video and Jaren was warned. But Jaren didn't care because he said, just ignore him. I'm truthfully not worried about him. Jaren Mintz is not worried about, and I blocked out his name because I said I would. You may not have to be worried about him, but you do have to be worried about Eric Stone, because his post may have not got no traction, but mine will. But it gets deeper, because it all came down to you just not giving him back his stuff. Now, I'm not one to get involved with a bunch of white-on-white crime drama. However, he stole like 10 high-end commercial LED lights that were like $100 a piece, $5 grand worth of oak strips. I had the original Lord of the Rings record from 1970, not the original Lord of the Rings, what? So when the friend posted the video, this is what Jaren said after I posted the video. You can have your record back. I had the pool bar cleaned out and all the lights and stuff got taken out. Is that all you're wanting? No, Jaren. I want more. Jared Mintz works at Red Gold Maintenance. Wait, Red Gold? I've heard of Red Gold before. Red Gold, to produce the freshest, best tasting tomato products in the world. Tomatoes. Not my tomatoes. Don't be fucking up my tomatoes, Jaren. Let's look at your company values, shall we? To embrace, promote, and model economic, environment, and social practices that respect and improve the quality of life for future generations. Now, do you think using language like that will improve our future generations, Jaren? And oh look, just like that, they're already hiring so they can get rid of you. All be sure to tag them. And what's that? I watch too much college football to not know what that is. Indiana University? Yep. I'll be sure to tag them too. But you know what's gonna hurt even more, Jaren? The music you like. Key Glock, A$AP Mob, and Yo Gotti. Why is it the most racist white people love hip-hop so much, yet they want to use the N-word so fucking bad? You know what? You know what I'm gonna do for you, Jaren? A lot of celebrities follow me. So you know what? I'm going to tag 3 of your favorite artists in this post and make sure they see the kind of person you really are. Because I'm pretty sure they're not going to like it. And lastly, before you think it's funny to harass black people who did absolutely nothing to you and yell out racial slurs to them while they're minding their own fucking business, why don't you think twice about that? And don't steal your friend's shit and then send them a video of you being a racist, because that's just dumb. My name's Eric Stone. Doses. Everybody meet Leonard Cure. Now, out of all the stories I cover, this man's story is pretty fucking devastating. Because only 3 years ago, this man was completely exonerated from a crime he didn't even commit. And this is him celebrating. In fact, he was the first person exonerated by our conviction review unit by the Broward State Attorney's Office. And now he was killed by a deputy for a basic traffic stop. But first, let me tell you about the wrongful conviction of this man. The Innocent Project of Florida, Leonard Cure. The charge: armed robbery with a firearm, aggravated assault with a firearm. Conviction: armed robbery with a firearm, aggravated assault with a firearm. Sentenced: life in prison. Yet this school shooter got 20 years and only served 17. So what happened with the case? On November 10th, 2003, a man with a revolver forced his way into a Walgreens store in the early morning hours. After threatening one employee with the revolver, the suspect left the store with $1,700 in cash. This all happened at 7:15 in the morning. 2 days after the incident, both victims, who were also the only witnesses, met with the detectives to complete a composite sketch based on their recollection of the person. Unfortunately, the observation of the 2 witnesses did not match. A week later, detectives had constructed a lineup and asked both individuals to identify the subjects independently. Out of the 6 men presented to her in a lineup, the first witness chose number 3, Leonard Cure. The second witness, on the other hand, was between Cure and another suspect, but concluded that number 3, Cure, was the same complexion. It turns out Cure wasn't even there. You know what he was doing the whole time? He was helping his girlfriend take their 3 kids to school, and then he went to the ATM at 6:52 in the morning, and he took out $20 that was 3 miles away south of said Walgreens. His boss showed up at 8 a.m. in the morning, and his co-worker said that he shows up at 7 a.m. each day. And now, after this man celebrated because he was finally exonerated, the deputy decided to pull him over because he was going 90 and 70 miles an hour, when she should have just gave him a speeding ticket and walked away. But no, the deputy had him get out of his vehicle and then killed the man. And just back in August, he was rewarded over $800,000 and just bought his home a week ago. Now, the NAACP is demanding the release of the body cam footage, which they are not releasing. And this is why the police are so fucking dangerous, because they terrorized this man his entire fucking life and wrongly convicted him based on the complexion of his damn skin, not on what he fucking looks like or evidence to back it up, even though he had proof to prove that he wasn't even in the area when the crime was committed. And then they killed the man for just speeding. Yet police only solve 2% of major crimes. We do not need you, because creators like myself and many others make content like this, do real investigations, make this shit go viral, because people actually give a fuck about these things, which you guys lack, and we don't just base it off of the complexion of their damn skin. So everybody, let's fight for justice for this man, because we know cops lie about this shit all the damn time and cover their asses. So let's get this man justice. My name's Eric Stone. Doses. Everybody meet Hannah Payne, a 21-year-old white woman who killed this man, Kenneth Hearing. But how did she do it? Self-defense? Protecting the lives of others? Was she a cop? None of that. Kenneth was driving down the road and he ran a red light and he hit a four-wheeler, and they both pulled over to wait for the police. But why was Kenneth in such a rush? During the time of the crash, there was 2 witnesses. 1, Hannah, and 2, a correctional officer named Terry Robinson. The correctional officer examined Kenneth and noticed that he was disoriented. A police officer reported that Kenneth's eyes looked a little reddish-orange color. He believed he was having a diabetic shock. The 4-wheel driver, Kenneth, Hannah, and the CEO waited for 20 minutes on the side of the road waiting for a cop to show up. But Kenneth was having a medical emergency, so he got back up in his car and he drove away. And the correctional officer told her to follow him and get his license plate number. While she was following him, she called 911 and told the dispatcher what was happening. The dispatcher told her to fall back and go back to the scene of the crime and let police handle it. But Hannah didn't do that. No, what Hannah did is she cut Kenneth off a mile down the road from the accident, and she pulled out her firearm and told him to go back. Meanwhile, this entire time, Kenneth was having a medical emergency and he was rushing to the hospital to get treatment. But when Kenneth told her no and to get out the way so he could get to the hospital, she pulled her firearm. When the cops showed up, they found him in the front seat suffering from a firearm wound, and they rushed him to the hospital and he was pronounced dead less than an hour later. You would think Hannah would be convicted of murder, not to mention traffic violations as well. But no, Hannah has had her trial completely dismissed for all these reasons, and it just keeps going. But not only did this incident happen in 2019, the last dismissal of this trial happened in November of 2022. But you want to know the irony? Her defense attorney had a health emergency, even though there was no proof of the illness. Yet the trial still got dismissed. And Hannah still hasn't been charged for the death of this man. And here we are in 2023. For the 9th time, Hannah is finally going to trial in October of this month of this year. So I want to bring full attention to this trial and make sure justice is served, because no citizen should pull out a gun on anybody for no good reason if their life is not in danger. Especially when a man is just trying to get to the hospital so he don't die. So here's this petition that was started in 2020, yet I'm bringing it back to light because Kenneth deserves justice, and every trial Hannah has been to has been completely dismissed. So let's go sign it and get this man the justice he deserves. My name's Eric Stone. Doses.